what are your top tips for people to optimize their digital presence?
My favorite topic. Okay. First and foremost, we're going to nerd out and talk about Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is free. It's really easy to set up your website on Analytics. You just go Google Analytics and you create an account and follow the prompts and then connect your domain name. And why it's so amazing is because, yeah, there's all this data that you can pull through and cipher through, but you don't need all of that. You can find all of the simple things like how many people are coming to your website a day, where they're coming from, what their age is. So it helps you sort of nail down, especially for those of you who are kind of, oh, I kind of sort of know who my ideal client is, but I don't know if that's the right person. It really can help validate your ideal client and who you're talking to. But it also gives you some feedback about which pages are working really well, what people are really navigating to and really loving. So you can do more of that. Also helps tell you about, like what content people are consuming the most too, and if they're interacting with things and clicking on things. So Google Analytics by far is number one, especially if you already have a website up and running, because you don't know how your shop is doing, which even as a coach, a consultant, your website's still your shop. Mm-hmm. You don't know how well it's doing if you have no way of checking and watching that and monitoring it. So that's my first one. The second one is to start educating yourself on SEO. So if you've heard the term and you're like, what the heck is that? Search engine optimization. And I don't know, should I go into that now or do you want to do that in another question? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Let's do that. Yeah.
So search engines, the basic gist, I'm going to put it into really clear, concise way, but just know it is this. If you really want to geek out with me, we can talk about SEO, but search engines have these little, they call them crawlers. And what they do is when someone types into the search, like coaching, life coaching for women, the crawler is going to go look through all the websites on the page, on the internet. It's going to look for people who are life coaches for women. And the way that they find that is from things, maybe you've heard keywords. Keywords are just words that people are using to find that type of information or those type of practitioners or businesses and things like that. So these web crawlers are looking for those so that it can say, here you go, searcher. Here's the information you asked me for. Here's some ideas of what you can play with. Mm-hmm. So when you're optimizing for that search engine, what you're actually doing is that you're making your website and your online platforms, because it applies to social media as well. You're making, and podcasts, you're making your online platforms more optimized for being found by those crawlers. So you're helping the crawlers. You're saying, hey, I'm a life coach for women, and here's all the topics that those people might be looking for. And it just gives these web crawlers, these search engines, an opportunity to find you faster and more consistent and more accurately. And then it makes them happy, if a computer system can be happy, because then they're being able to show people the information they're asking for. And that's ultimately their job. So that's SEO. I don't know, is that clear? Like SEO is kind of a big beast, but basically it's to help the search engines know who you are and how you relate to people who are looking for you.
Yeah, awesome. That's clear. Maybe you can get into a few things that people can do, like I think you have a checklist actually around this or something like that too. We can share in the notes later. But what are a few things that people can do to make their websites more SEO optimized?